Hello, you're on the Cemetery Whispering channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I promise you won't fall asleep tonight.
Doctor's notes. 3 mystical cases of terrible death. I worked as an ambulance doctor, and it was not uncommon for me to go on death certificates as well. However, there were 3 cases in my practice that, remembering them for the rest of my life, I will wake up in a cold sweat and stare into the darkness with horror. 3 deaths, 3 people who should have nothing in common. The death of an elderly intellectual woman. The first was an old lady living with her retired husband, who on the eve of her death had gone to the country house for a sleepover. Upon his return, he found his wife dead. The pensioner was lying in the bathtub on her back with her head towards the door. It was clear that she had not fallen. Death had met her lying down. The old woman had died of heart failure, a seemingly ordinary death, but her face. Usually corpses have no expression on their faces, but here I was looking at a face with dead, wide-open eyes, distorted by some infernal fear, the quintessence of horror. It was the worst grimace I had ever seen in my life at that moment. Words could not describe it. It was unpleasant to be there, and I quickly finished all the formalities and left that department. The death of an alcoholic. The next incident happened a month and a half later. An alcoholic, not working, about 40 years old. Later, it turned out that he was 34. Alcoholics age faster. Didn't need anyone. Lived alone in a dead-end, one-room apartment. When such people die, they are found only when a dead body odor starts coming out of their apartment. In this case, a buddy of his came to visit. The door to the apartment was ajar. He looked inside, saw his friend's corpse, and called the police. The body was lying in the hallway, the same expression of inhuman fear on his face, eyes looking toward the front door. No signs of violent death were found. The cause of death was a heart attack. The expression on the dead man's face was like 2 drops of water on that pensioner's face. I suddenly imagined this man lying on his bed in a drunken stupor, heard some noise at the front door, came out of the room and saw something that died on the spot. Death of a female student. The call to the 17-year-old freshman was 3 or 4 weeks after the drunk. It wouldn't take long for her to be discovered, either, but the landlady of the rented apartment came in quite often. The girl's body was in bed, except her head was on the opposite side of the pillow and hanging down. It was like she was trying to bounce off something. Why, I thought the girl was trying to run away from something unknown. She had the exact same look on her face. I don't know what happened to these people, but they all died of fright, with the police finding no trace of other people in any of the apartments. And then one evening, I suddenly thought that something was wrong in all of this, that these very different people had something in common. I took a map of the city and marked 3 points on it, the apartments where the incidents had taken place. There was a perfectly straight line through the 3 points, and the deaths themselves occurred in order. First point, second, third. The most interesting thing is that the old lady lived only half a kilometer from the city cemetery. I can't think of anything else. It's mystical. Were there any other such cases? I don't know, for I was fired. My nerves couldn't take it. I started drinking. I was turning into the same kind of unemployed and unwanted drunkard, and I won't name the city. I don't want to scare anyone.